Hey everybody, guess what? I'm finally getting a chance to record again. Let's go in and see where I left off, because I don't really remember. First thing I'll do is turn that off. I've updated, so of course that comes on by default. Um, let's see, I should have, it looks like I do. Let's grab some of these. You can see I started using iron finally for tools. Um, let's actually put up those and do that. Should be safe, I hope. I did some prep and everything before life went kind of crazy on me. Wow, am I getting some leg spikes here? Um, and by crazy, I told you that my mom was coming into town, and she did, and all that stuff. But before I start talking about what all went on here, I know a lot of people use torches to line out where they're planning on building stuff. I decided to use redstone because I have a lot, not as many as I should, but I have a lot of torches around here for keeping mobs at bay anyways. So I used redstone. So while I'm digging, uh, that sounds a little bit loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. Okay, that's a little better. So yeah, mom came to town, which was lots of fun. You know, I think everyone enjoyed themselves pretty well with that. Uh, and the week before that, a couple weeks before that, I think actually, started doing full time at that temp job I was doing, and so that was just nuts because there's actually at least 60-hour weeks I think I was pulling at that point. So not very sensible for being able to still record. Um, do I want to do that? Yeah, I'll do that. So that all happened, but while my mom was here, I got an interview for a job with the title of programmer analyst. And it actually turns out I got that job. And I started the week after she was here. So basically, after she left, it was getting set up with the new job, figuring things out, just making sure that everything was going to be done correctly and all that good stuff. Oh, by the way, this is for storage. Which there'll be furnaces and stuff in here too. And so yeah, I've been doing that job now for a couple months, I think. Wow, has it been that long? Um, so everything seems to be going good. Um, my boss hasn't really said much about it, but his boss, our CIO, has mentioned or made comments about that I'm really fast getting stuff done, so they seem to be happy with what I'm doing. But and also, I don't know if you necessarily care, but start taking medication to help with my sleepiness, so I'm sleeping less during the day, which means, now that that's starting to come into effect, whatever, I actually have time to prepare and record. Although all the preparation for what the build today, well, I shouldn't say all of it, the preparation that got done at least for the build today, um, was done, within a week, or within probably a week, maybe a little bit more of the last recording that I put up. Um, let's see. So that's kind of the update. The notes, because I write down just notes just for some general talking stuff. Um, before episodes, just, you know, being an introvert, having just notes that way, if I can't think of anything, I can look down at them, is a good thing. But, on there I have, you know, stuff like Diablo 3, because I was thinking of doing, a series on Diablo 3, which I haven't really had a chance to play much even. And from the sounds of it, a lot of people seem to have gotten bored with it. It doesn't, from what everyone's saying, it doesn't have the replayability, oops, um, that Diablo 2 had, which isn't that surprising because Diablo 2 had a lot to live up to meet that. Um, let's see. So I want to play it some more myself if I get a chance before I decide whether or not I'm going to try to do a let's play on it, because if it does drop off like that, like people are saying, then I don't necessarily want to waste your time, or, well, I'm probably still going to play it at some point anyways, but if it's not the most enjoyable thing throughout, I don't want to kind of feel almost forced to play it. It might just be one of those things that I slowly just finish on my own time over the next few years. Saying I'm a lot. Anyways. Oops. So, let's see. Just kind of going through the notes right now for the sake of making sure that there wasn't anything that I actually, probably should talk about. Really, the only other thing on this list, because I mentioned my mom's visit went well, is the multiplayer server I was looking at starting up. I don't remember if you were told. Darn it. That's an expensive block to misplace. I don't remember what I told you about it, but originally I was looking at possibly having someone else host it, and then decided actually to just host it myself. As it is, I have an old MacBook Pro that's, how tall do I want to make this? Let's go for, ow. But at least using Bucket on 125, because this was a while ago that I tested it. Well, kind of tested it. Had a couple people that happened to be in Spawn at the time that I talked to quite regularly, or was talking to somewhat frequently, and I kind of knew them. Let's see, who are they? I'm bad with names, so like there's one that I really should know his name, but I only know his in-game name because I have the whitelist I can look back on. But of the people that were there, there was Luscious Lisa, Nuked was there, and that's Nuked with a 3. And let's see, Bacon Avenger, or Avenger. I don't think there's a D there. And I don't know if he goes by a different name elsewhere, but I don't think so. And Greywall is the one that I know he has a different name that he goes by. That's just happens to be his in-game name, but I just can't remember what it is. So, but that went really well, with the small load, which that's all the server will ever have as far as I'm planning it. There was really no issues, and actually near the end, before I had to go, we tried to, or well, more them than me, but tried to basically break it, you know, do stuff that we know causes severe issues. And oh wow, it's almost night. Dog's playing with his bone at my feet. That's Roger, actually. The one that this seat's actually named after, even though it was meant to be named after George. I need to torch this up a little bit before I go sleep, or else we will have surprises in the morning. Okay. And I need to get glass anyways, and figure out what I'm going to do for a roof. So we'll go in and sleep. I would snore like Kurt J. Mac, but I'm not that good at it, and meh. I don't think you guys want to hear that anyways. What do we got in here? Let's do a stack and see where that gets us. Yeah, I figured part of the reason why I'm doing just stone for a lot of this is I figured it's storage, so it's a little bit more industrial. I should grab doors too, actually. While I'm thinking of it, I will look around a little bit. But yeah, it's a little bit more industrial and, you know, not like a residence or something. Kind of serves a purpose, and that's about what it does. Oh, well, that's lovely. I try start a timer when I record, just that way I know how long I've gone. And yeah, I forgot to hit start. But yeah, so it's more industrial, so it's going to be well lit with the glass and stuff, but you know, nothing all that pretty. And as you saw in that chest, if you noticed, which I'm sure you did, because watching a video you have a lot better eyesight than the person playing, that I have some diamonds. So, whoa, what was that? I show I'm still recording, so that's good. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I showed this. I kind of, for now, did kind of the alternating like this for a path. And there's a path here that goes all the way out to a desert where I started quarrying some sand. It's quite a ways. I may have showed that in the last video, I don't remember. Okay, I'm lagging out and I'm playing locally. I'll be right back, I guess. Okay, I'm back, and I basically had to kill Minecraft because it wasn't responding. Well, I tried exiting out and reloading the world, and yeah, it kind of hung there. So, logged out, or killed Minecraft and reloaded it. Actually, I reduced the amount of RAM it was using, or I had allotted it, even though what it's using only 11% of what it's allotted right now. Either way, yeah, we'll see if that fixes things or not. Oh, I have more. I need to make a door or two. Yeah, jungle wood. We'll just throw that there, I guess. Since I don't believe doors are affected by... Oh. I guess doors don't stack. I thought they did. I don't need the wood that anyways. How much wood do I have? 52. We'll see how far that gets us. Where was I? Interruptions like that. Might as well do the door. I should have done the other one. The other one first. Because I believe if I do that one first, when I do that one... Nope, okay. Maybe they changed that. I thought that that would have flipped, but it didn't. But, yeah, that crash was kind of weird. Let's see, how many spaces is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yeah, that should be enough. I was just thinking about furnaces. That's the reason why I was really counting. Okay, we got those in. Yeah, I'm gonna put one here too. Looks a little bit goofy, but we'll see what it looks like when I get the roof on. Actually, I have wood on me. I'll use it. That's Georgie here whining a little bit. Let's see, what was I going to build? Oh, I was going to do half slabs. Now I have tons of half slabs. I think I'll do a similar roof to that, although with the half slabs I can, well, do half slabs in the new one, since I can place them upside down and all that good stuff. And plus, doing half slabs like this means it's not as steep as if you use stairs. Or although I was watching Cilantro Gamer's stream today, and he was building a windmill because he was showing a mod better than wolves, and saw an interesting idea to kind of curve the roof that I might have to use at some point. You know, it involves stairs, but you don't just do a straight line of stairs type thing. Oh, yes, I think I remember what I was going to talk about. As far as the farm, which I will need to do at some point here, the plan has kind of changed for that. Well, I say that before a key part of the process. Instead of doing, the automated with water that pushes all the wheat down, and, that style, oops, which I was originally planning on doing. Let's see if I can do this right. Yes. What I'm actually thinking about doing now, again, it actually came from Michael, so I'll give credit where credit is due, is a light-based one instead, which means I have redstone, that's not an issue, but going to the nether so I can get glowstone to make the redstone lights. So with that, you just have a little dough. And this one won't work, will it? Nope. So it's underground, have all the lights wired up to a switch, obviously get it bright enough so the wheat grows. Then when you're ready to harvest, kill the lights, it gets dark in there, and, obviously the wheat actually just breaks or deplants itself. Is destroyed, I think is the proper term, without the proper level of light. And so then you just walk around, pick it up. Oops, I didn't want that. Walk around, pick it up, and just as you're walking around, you seed it instead of having to, misplace blocks. They're gonna kill me one of these days. Well, actually, they have in the past, just not while recording. Anyways. But doing that, kind of saves time / legwork. You kidding me? In the sense that, instead of having to wait for the water to come down and, then you gotta collect the wheat, wait for the slowpoke wheat to get down there, and then walk all over being careful not to jump because you have multiple levels. You instead just hit a switch, wait a second at most, really, as long as you get it dark enough in there. Am I an idiot? Yes, I am. Wow, is the sun going down again already? That, I think, means that this episode's getting really long. So, I think... Let me finish this real quick. Ow. Quickly add some light to the matter. Thought I was doing the invisible block glitch there for a second. Okay, I'll sleep here real quick, and then I'll show you what the plan is, and I'll end the recording, and next recording it should be done, along with me figuring out what the next project is. Actually, the next project is going to the nether, actually. Which I figured you guys might enjoy seeing that. Yeah, this workbench will be moved. Back wall here will be furnaces. Probably not all 7, I'll probably just do 5. No, I'll probably do 7, just for completeness. And then in the middle will be chests that will be, probably at least 3 high. Actually, wait, that's right, I was going to change that. Because originally I was thinking that the chests would go this way, so you'd just have 2 rows of chests. I think I would rather do chests this way. So, like a double chest would be like, well, not there. Oh, that's going to bug me though, because it's off center. because it wasn't planned for that way. But yeah, I was thinking of doing chests like that, and then, you know, be at least 3 high, because I think you can get more in than the plan was. Probably here. You know, so like those would be stacks of chests type thing. Um, but I'll figure that out, and you guys will see it next time. Thank you for watching, and I am hoping that I am talking to you again soon. Bye bye.